from 1% to 6% mortgages in like not even 2 years. And like the prices, they've gone down, but like they're kind of stabilizing things. And like, I don't know, people are rushing to throw this stuff onto the market. We keep saying that like this event will happen or something will happen, but it's like, it's a sprinkling. It's a sprinkling. And then you look around and like, there's like 8,000 more people on the street all of a sudden. But they got to live somewhere.
Multifamily stuff is still at like crazy low cap rates that I'm seeing. Every once in a while, I'll see something at 5 or above, but there's always a catch. People are just still out there buying properties and willing to sink their cash into Toronto real estate, and also the appreciation on rents too. I think that this must be something, Jordan, that people are forecasting rent increases a lot more into their pro forma, because 23% year over year. I think that's something that you're going to be relying on over the next few years. Even if rates continue to go up and prices come down, you're thinking in your head, well, right now I'm getting 2,700 and 29 and 31, no rent control. All that stuff is all a big factor in these newer projects that you got to take into consideration.
But do we think that like for the next few years that prices are going to continue to go down? Like, do we really think like, imagine how high interest rates have to go to really push this thing down? I don't know if you look at the stats.
I think there's still a lot of pain in the market to go through. I think there's still a lot of people who are not going to make it out alive.
That's the K-shape thing that I'm talking about. Like, there's not that much to sell at the moment, even though everybody's saying there's a flood of inventory. I looked at the numbers. Like, they look the same as last month. I don't know what flooded from the month before. It's like 100 more active listings than the previous month. But like, I don't know. I think it's getting blown out of proportion right now. I don't know how you can say that all these extra people aren't a floor on pricing somehow, unless they are. Of course they are, right? Like, am I crazy to believe
a floor? It's just, what is the floor? Is it where it is now? Are we at the floor, and so therefore it's just not going to go up anymore?
Fucking 6% on mortgages,
or is it,
like
one way or the other,
from
5-10%.
But we're really from 1% to 6% mortgages in like not even 2 years. And like the prices, they've gone down, but like they're kind of stabilizing things. And like, I don't know, people are rushing to throw this stuff onto the market. We keep saying that like this event will happen or something will happen, but it's like, it's a sprinkling. It's a sprinkling. And then you look around and like, there's like 8,000 more people on the street all of a sudden. But they got to live somewhere.
Yeah, look, I think it'll get, to me, I've been surprised by how resilient it has been so far, how many assignments managed to sell if they're priced, again, aggressively, but if they are, they move. For me, what's interesting is like into next year and into 2025 is when we get into the place where like people were buying pre-construction and they're closing on it now and they were paying like $1,500 a foot. Like, that's sort of the timeline for that, like closings in the entertainment district and in the Church Street corridor where people were paying $1,500-$1,600 a foot, and the resale market's not there, right? So those units won't appraise. So that's when I kind of start to get concerned about, like, if prices haven't started trending back up by then, there could be a bit of a pinch there.
A bit. There's a lot.
A bit for some.
But it's a big amount. Most of those people are going to have issues closing, right? I know, most of those people are not going to be able to just get $300,000 out of nowhere to be able to close.
Somebody's swooping in to buy it at whatever they end up having to buy it for, right?
Yeah, it's sort of like, I saw, there was a developer with 30% standing inventory on closing earlier this year. So the developer just closed them and rented them out.
Right, of course. And
I was like, well, that's interesting.
That makes sense.
That went a lot smoother than I expected.
Yeah, they got flooded with rental applications overnight and probably leased the whole place out. That's a brilliant move. That makes the most sense. Why not? And there's still condos. You can sell them. Now they're just not like new. But they still come with a warranty. How does the warranty work on that, actually? That's an interesting...
Because it was occupied. But
because it was occupied.
I don't think it really matters. The reality is the developer just continues to rent them out and hold them until they think the prices are where they want it to be. For like, people forget, like 85, what's the address? 825 Church, right where Church meets Yonge. You get that right beside the Canadian Tire. You got 825 Church. I think what did it complete like 10 years ago, 12 years ago? Anyways, the developer's still holding rentals, like a
The
lot
one
of
to the east, just east of Young.
yeah.
Conservatories building there.
Conservatory, yeah.
Well, they can hold anything
Yeah, it's
forever. It doesn't
conservatories, you can
matter.
convert,
I
yeah.
was at a building. I was at a building this week. It's in Malvern. It's like a real like crap building, right? And it's
Malvern, great
Malvern.
area.
Yeah. So the guy owns the unit and he's got obviously you know, a condo, typical condo, but the developer owns a bunch of units in the building. Now it's about 30, 40 years old. And so they just held on to them, and maybe they sold it off a few different times and this holding company just maintained these buildings, but it was always a mixed building of there's all these rentals and all these condos in between. And then the developer just renovated all the units and is now selling them all off. And it's increased the value of everybody's units because there's like nice, beautiful units where they all probably used to sell for 300. Now they're going for 500-600. So again, maybe that I should look into that. Maybe at the time of the market when this was built, the same thing happened. They couldn't move all those condos, so they just kept a bunch of them as rentals, and they held on to them for a long time. The numbers made sense, and now they're like, okay, the market changed. They renovated
take your
them, flipped
profit.
them,
You take your
and
profit slow
Yeah.
over time.
yeah, if you're in the position to do that, right? If you're the developer's in the position to do that, why not? But that was kind of the first time I've seen that at that larger scale because it's a big 200-300 unit building.
Like, comment, and subscribe if you got anything from one of these clips. And if you want to see some more, press something on the screen here. Boom.
That was good.
That was good. I like that. That was good.